So, what is with all these delays that's been going on, huh? There's a lot of this kind of stuff. I know over the past couple months there hasn't been that much stuff. Well, let me explain what's going on. First of all, we moved. That's a pretty big important thing. Second, there's college. Which, again, that's something big. Those two things should pretty much be self-explanatory. For VeggieTales Abridged, at least, the editors were taking a little longer, but we got that all worked out, so we should be getting some new stuff soon. The new Live and Reloaded was just uploaded, and it seems like everyone really likes that one. Not just because it's a new one again, but because, well, apparently it was really well written, and according to our favorites video, yeah, that seems to be the case. But there's something else. This YouTube channel is not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going for a couple more years, but we have another focus. We being me and Alfonso. As we've mentioned many times, we are working on our own direct-to-video Christian children's show, or direct-to-Netflix, whichever one works out, because it's not going to be on TV, because they don't want that kind of stuff anymore. Let's hope The Star is a big success so that can change. Anyways, while doing this stuff here is most certainly fun, well, there's something else we need to do. I mean, we're so far along in the show already. We got our cast together, we got our crew, we have the first 4 episodes written with a 5th one on the way pretty soon. We have some artists working on the show and getting the concept work going out. We have a recording studio found so that we know just where to go when we need to record the stuff. All we need is money for the animation, and we could be going in a couple of years. But that's the thing, we're not asking for donations, most certainly not. We're not at that stage yet, we're just in the pre-production phase. Just wait a few years, then give us your money. But in all seriousness, that's why things are taking so long, because we do have some Live and Reloadeds all written up. We have the final Gary Platter, that'll be the next episode, which we recorded it, but I'm trying to find it in my sea of endless audio files, which I really need to clear out soon, but I will find it, and it will be out. After that, we have a Macbeth episode, Coraline, and a couple other surprise ones that'll be coming out. Like also a remake of Beauty and the Beat. Yeah, we actually said that we were gonna, if we had unlimited episodes, we would try to remake the Beauty and the Beast one. So, we have unlimited episodes again because this will be the last time I explain it because a lot of people haven't really gotten it. We decided to go at an infrequent rate instead of month to month, so we do have an unlimited amount of episodes. But the infrequent rate isn't just because of the whole college schedule, it's because, well, we agreed that once college hit, we would start making this our primary focus. Which, this channel isn't huge, but it is doing pretty well and it's growing pretty quickly. So we're hoping to port all that audience that we have here into our next one, and then hopefully when some of our older audience, because we do have an older audience too, as well as the many, 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 many young kids that watch this show, or channel I should say. We're hoping that if there may be parents around this time, maybe they can show their kids too, and good word of mouth and all. We have good connections in many states like Washington, Texas, Michigan, Arizona, Colorado, Montana, Indiana, and Florida. A lot of people around there that can spread good word of mouth. But that won't be enough. See, so what we're going to be deciding to do now is we're not going to tell you what it's about or anything because we haven't trademarked it or anything, so we're going to need to secure all our intellectual property before we start spilling everything out. But we're going to give you more updates as to how it's coming along because, well, we're going to try to make sure you guys know what we're doing so we can get a stable fan base because all you guys are amazing. And we want to make sure you guys get something that you like out of it. And let me be perfectly clear before we move on. This channel's not converting into the official channel for the show. We're going to have a second channel for that. Not Presidentopia, we're just going to get a whole new account and everything. But we'll send a link to you guys when that actually finally comes up. Because we're not quite there yet. But I am going to let you know just how far along we're coming. Because, well, you guys need a reason for all of these delays. And yes, Abridged is still going to have a home here, and Live and Reload and everything, and in fact, they are going to be the main focus even still. Content-wise, things will not change, but the schedule will be exactly the same as it has been for the last couple of months, just not as many things. TV talks are definitely easier to make. I can make one of those a week, so those will be coming out quite a bit more with the next Simpsons one coming right after the Fox Box 4Kids marathon is over, because I have already made the videos for season 6 and 7, so those were a lot of fun, and you guys, I bet, are going to love those. But Alfonso and I are really, really committed to this show. We have a whole ritual and everything for how we write episodes, or rather, I do, because we have a strict rule that only the two of us are allowed to write episodes, because, well, as much as we would love to have, help with writing, which we do accept, we feel like we know the characters best out of everyone, and that's what Phil Vischer and Mike Nawrocki did, and look how well that worked. And then you can kind of tell that, yes, while they did have occasional guest writers up until Little Joe and stuff, or starting there, and you know what I'm saying, down the road when more and more people started throwing their interpretations of the character in, the show got kind of muddled and really inconsistent, and the tone was kind of mixed up. Now, the tone was a little different early on, too, like Larry Boy and the Rimmerweed, or Esther the Girl Who Became Queen were not the same tone as Lau the Kindly Viking, or Where's God When I'm Scared, that kind of stuff. But it was just like a completely different show. Look at things like Lord of the Beans and then Robin Good, and tell me that's from the same show. Or Sweet Pea Beauty and The Search for Noah's Ark. Not that Sweet Pea Beauty was looking for Noah's Ark, you know what I mean. It's the Minnesota Cuke one. Although that would make that episode better if she did go looking for Noah's Ark, because that episode was terrible. But you get what I'm trying to say. We'll create a more stable tone when we just have the two of us. But like I said, we do have writing editors. We have two of them, actually. But what we do is, well, because we were inspired by VeggieTales in the first place, which is why we're actually thankful that In the House actually came out, is because it was so awful that it inspired us to do our own thing. It's not VeggieTales, not even close, but, well, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of close in the same that it's like a Christian children's show that also appeals widely to adults. Thus, we'll be able to get a broader spectrum for our audience. But it's not about walking, talking vegetables. No, it's about walking, talking silverware! I'm just kidding. It's not. It's people. So what we do before we write anything for the show is we watch an episode of VeggieTales in the House. Yes, we actually watch an episode. But it's only to get us so angry that we know that we have to make a difference, or this will be the face of Christian children's entertainment. Something that's not even Christian. Have you heard of the phrase rhino, or the term rhino, meaning Republican in name only, or dino, I guess, which is not as used as much, Democrat in name only? Well, this is a Skino, I guess, Christian show in name only, because it has nothing to do with God. So that's why we just get so driven that we have to fix it. So we watch a full episode of that, realize that we need to be determined, because if we don't, then we usually end up writing like 3 pages a day instead of the usual 8. Then in the background, while actually writing it, we listen to an older episode of VeggieTales. By older, meaning not the modern designs. I'd say it's about a meaningful life and backwards, excluding a couple things like Sweet Pea Beauty or End of Silliness. Which that fuels us with a lot more creative potential. Although, like Live and Reloaded, I do a majority of the writing, although Alfonso does a lot more of like the character decisions and stuff. And more of like the writing, editing and stuff, because a lot of people have made this comparison, and I do agree. I'm kind of the Phil of the group, and he's kind of the Mike, especially when it comes to personality or just vocal inflection. I don't know, just kind of look at that, like the Phil and Mike videos, and then just kind of take a look at us, and then tell me that I'm wrong. And by me, I mean the guy who originally pitched this idea, and I don't even remember who it was. And then after that, we have gotten the whole cast together, and then we've done table reads. We've only done a table read for the first one, as the fourth one has yet to be edited. We're not going to do one of that, so upcoming we're going to do a table read of the next 2 episodes. Another thing we're also doing is we're writing the pilot last. This is for very good reason. The pilot episode is going to be the very first thing that audiences, critics, and just the network overall are going to be exposed to. So why not start out with your best foot forward? Also, a pilot is meant to introduce your characters to the audience and, well, everybody that watches it. So why not write it later when you already know and have established the characters? Granted, you can't show every single aspect of their personality in one episode, as they need to grow and evolve as the series goes on. But you'll know the characters better, and you'll know how they act more. Writing off the pilot first usually means it's going to be kind of shaky. And Weird Al has especially commented on this, as the first episode of the Weird Al show, which actually ended up being like the 9th, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Hamster, was definitely the first one written, and it was the most shaky. And next to the holiday episode, their least favorite, because they felt it was the most inconsistent in tone. They also knew that the episode Bad Influence, while a good episode, was not the best one to pitch as a pilot. because it wouldn't show the full spectrum of the humor or the characters, as half the cast doesn't even really appear in it. We have a lot of guides when it comes to this. The Weird Al Show's backstory is amazing, and that is actually one of our things on how to deal with networks. Look it up, and you can look up the full story of it. There's a Rolling Stones article about it, or I'd actually recommend renting the DVDs from somewhere, like your local library, providing that it still exists, and watching the commentaries on them, because it gives a really good insight in how to deal with networks that try to interfere with your stuff, because we have a feeling that might happen quite a bit, not just because it's a Christian show, but because of some of the lessons we're going to be teaching. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, or at least you guys will find out what the bridge is. I lost this metaphor. Also, Me, Myself, and Bob has helped us out tremendously. While VeggieTales was great, Big Idea was a flawed company from very early on. So we know the missteps that they took and what not to do. Like not releasing your movie too early, not expanding too quickly, and trying to make sure you still play to your demographic while still doing what you want to do. It's all about balance when you get down to it, and I feel like Alfonso and I have been studying this for years. After all, this thing has been in production since 2015. Going through many different forms, iterations, characters, cast, all this kind of stuff. But now we've actually got a stable crew landed down, we've got a company name picked out, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be doing. So just letting you know that this is kind of what's causing a lot of the delays. Like I said, there's still going to be stuff coming out. I promised a video at least every month, at least. And that's just a wide gap, because I'm pretty sure there'll be a couple a month. Like I've been doing just a couple little vignettes or something, or just those regular videos like VeggieTales Abridged, which should be coming out soon. This next one's hilarious, by the way. Although the sing-along video, the Presidentacular one, has definitely been quite the hard one to come out. That one's going to be a little bit longer, but again, you'll cross the bridge when you get to it, because I'm working on that right now. I'm crossing the bridge right now. So in review, the channel is not changing except for the schedule, which will stay the same as it has been for the last couple months. You guys now have a reason as to why there's a bunch of delays, being the show. You'll find out more details about the show as we go on, but still feel free to ask questions, and within reason, we'll answer them. There's going to be a couple side things that we have, like we're considering a fan fiction theater with me and my roommate. Not to mention, you guys have suggested Let's Plays on this channel, so we decided to kind of sarcastically oblige. A little series called Paw Grape and Khalil's Bad Let's Plays, being like, they're kind of references / parodies of people who don't know how to play video games and also don't have capture cards, who just like put the camera in front of the TV, like that kind of stuff. We have 3 episodes recorded for that. We're going to be having a couple others coming out, but they're pretty funny, and we're going to see what you guys think. The first one will probably be up around mid-December, early December. We'll see. Alright, so there you guys go. There's a couple new things coming out to keep you occupied in the meantime. More TV talks on the way with the 4Kids Foxbox Marathon coming to an end pretty soon. A Modern Family video, which should be up in about a day or two. And of course, Live and Reloaded and VeggieTales Abridged still having a home, and we're still at work on those. But of course, all of that has to come second to the big goal, where we can provide Sunday morning values and Saturday morning fun, inspired by the studios of Big Idea.